Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new tactics video. And today we are going to be bringing you the Spalletti 4-3-3. We got some absolutely outrageous results with this, and I do recommend you guys give it a shot. If you guys do enjoy these videos on this channel, like tactics, rebuilds and much more, be sure to leave a like below, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We're absolutely killing it at the moment. So the first phase of the video, the tactic testing phase, the first test is going to be with Zenit. Now, this again is going to be it's an absolutely incredible result. We managed to win the Russian Premier League, win the Russian Cup and the Super Cup, scoring 103 goals and only conceding 22. Matteo Caserera coming in with 31 goals and Malcolm matching that with 31 assists. It's going to be Ivan coming in with the best pass completion, sitting at around 94%. Now, the reason why I'm very happy with this mainly is because we did go invincible. On this match engine, that is an accomplishment because defending is so difficult, it seems. But fair play, we come out, we kept loads of clean sheets. We actually, hats off to us there. Very happy with that. Going over to the squad, we're going to have a little look at this. We're going to not spend as much time in this because I noticed in my last video, we spent a lot of time going over this and not as much watching an actual game. So again, you can see the goals are very well spread here. Feel free to have a look at the stats here. We've got quite a few top goal scorers, 31, 17, 16, 12, and it slowly starts to drop, but a nice mixture of goal scorers in the team. In terms of assists, again, it's going to be one of the attacker midfield players actually coming in with 31 assists, then 15, 9, 9, 7, 5, 5, 5. So quite a few assists coming from multiple positions. In terms of the data hub, team attacking, 3.43. Now, obviously, some of the teams in this division, you can put quite a few goals past, and obviously Zenit are a very strong team in this division. So still, that is incredible stats, 3.43 a game, 86% pass completion basically as well, which is exceptional. And defending still under a goal a game, sitting at 0.73. So when you're doing that, conceding 0.73 and you're scoring 3.43, I don't think we can argue with this tactic. We then go over to Klopp's Liverpool, and I wanted to test with these because I really like Liverpool in a 4-3-3 style, and I thought they'd do well with this one, and they did. They really did. They managed to win the Premier League, not the most convincingly. Obviously, Man City are really neck and neck. A reasonable gap, though, sitting at around 6 points, which you can't really complain about. It's going to be Mo Salah, actually the top goal scorer, a player who is kind of struggling a little bit for his relevant form in real life. 43 goals coming from him, and Trent with the most assists at 25. We managed to win the Premier League and win the FA Cup. We did also make it all the way to the Champions League final, but we did lose 3-2 to FC Bayern Munich, which again is a very tough game, but it would have been nice to win it. 107 goals scored and only 15 conceded. So this, again, this tactic is actually really, really solid at the back. It's one thing I'm noticing more and more. Obviously, Liverpool's defence is really good. I say that they have a bit of a shaky season, but in the game, it is really, really good. And still, I don't want to keep slating the match engine, but I will keep saying it until it has changed. To be conceding as few goals as that is very, very impressive. Going over to the squad now, again, goals. We're going to see a lot more goals coming from the players because they are better quality. So we're going to be seeing Mo Salah with 43, 36 for Darwin Núñez, Diaz with 33. That front three really linking up, even Darwin Núñez getting in the mix, which is really good to see actually. In terms of assists, we've also got 10 and 10 and 8 here, so quite a few goals coming in, even Van Dijk getting involved. In terms of assists, we've got 25 for Trent, 19 for Diaz and 16 for Mo Salah. There it goes down a little bit, Thiago Robertson getting a little bit involved, but as you can see, the stats are pretty well rounded and everyone's getting involved, getting goals and assists. The data hub then, team attacking, 2.82. Obviously, again, this is a harder division. Although we've got better players, defences are going to be better as well. So that is still relatively high. Getting on for 3 goals a game. Pass completion slightly higher is to be expected. We have got better midfield players in the team and people, in my opinion, who obviously can ping the ball around a lot better. Going over to defending, 0.39. Now, this is where it gets really, really good, actually, because to have this sort of statistic in the Premier League as well, where there are better attacks, I know we have got better defenders as well, but for me, I've played with some really good teams on this game, as I imagine you guys have as well, and defending can be really shaky. So I'm very impressed with that stat. Obviously, it's not flawless. We do concede goals here and there. As you can see, in the Champions League final, we did concede quite a few goals, but that as an average stat is very, very good. So 0.39 compared to 2.82. I'm completely happy with that in my head. We then go over to his current side, Napoli, who, to be honest, are on absolute flames right now. They're on absolute flames, so fair play to them. They managed to win the Serie A quite convincingly. Juventus actually coming in second place, something I think they'd kill for now. Victor Osimhen, pretty expected to be the top goal scorer. It's going to be, I don't want to butcher his name, but this absolute incredible player with the highest match rating. Zielinski coming in with 17 assists. We managed to win obviously the Serie A, win the Italian Cup. The Champions League was a bit disappointing because we actually got knocked out to Liverpool. And as you can see up here, I always holiday simulate in a group. So unfortunately, we knocked ourselves out in the Champions League, which is one of the downsides to doing that. So possibly in the next video, if I am testing with two teams that are in the same competition and both got a good chance of getting to the semi-final, then I will look to do them separately. But 95 goals scored, not as good at defending, which does surprise me a little bit. Fourth best in terms of conceding 32 goals. In terms of the squad, looking at goals, we're going to be looking at Osimhen. We're going to be looking at Lonely Raspadori, who I imagine they will try and make permanent if they can. This player, again, I don't like to butcher names on this channel anymore. 13 for Lozano, 9, 8, and 8. In terms of assists, we've got 17 from Zielinski, 15 here, 10 from Rao. I'm butchering names. And Angucia coming in with 9, Raspadori with 9. So it is fairly well spread. Now, anyone that's got up to this point in the video, can someone please type how to pronounce this name? Because I would assign this guy in one of my saves, and I need to say his name. But I don't want to butcher it every time, so I know it does offend people. But again, I will go over to the data hub, actually. We haven't looked at that. Team attacking, bang on 2.5 goals a game. I'll take that in the Serie A. I mean, there are some good defences in this league, and do you know what? Anything over 2 I'm pretty happy with so far in this game. Nearly bang on 87% pass completion, which again is very impressive. Impressive. I'm making up words now. In terms of team defending, under a goal a game again, which is the main aim for this game. Obviously, it's all about finding how you can sort of not abuse the match engine. That sounds bad, but it's all about finding little ways to defend against the match engine. Obviously, at the moment, one of my biggest issues is how complacent defenders are. They seem just to sit back. So it is about trying to just tweak things, trying to get around it, and you can sometimes you can't, but 0.84 conceded and 2.5 goals that we did go out and score. So that is going to be the tactic testing done. Let's go over and watch a game from one of the saves. So the game I picked out is actually going to be a 4-1 win over Roma. So they did get a goal, and I wanted to show you this because I don't want any means for you guys to think this tactic is completely flawless. You are going to concede goals, as any team does. But we did manage to come back, and once we got firing, we did get firing. We absolutely dominated the game. So let's watch this. Do let me know if you would prefer 2D or actual in-game footage. I quite like this because you get to see actual sort of players play the ball about. But I know there's a lot of old school players that love 2D. So let me know in the comments below, and I'll pretty much favour whoever gets the most sort of comments on the relevant thing. But it's going to be Pellegrini putting the ball in, and this was a good goal from Matic. I mean, again, the keeper a bit clueless, but that was a rocket from Matic. And this point on, I was like, okay, we need to get back into the game. Obviously, I was holiday simulating it, but when I saw this scoreline, you know, sort of come up and 4-1, I was like, okay, this could be an interesting one to watch. And to be honest, we did get right back into it. They try and go long there. It's a pretty poor ball. It's going to be Mere actually pick up the ball, who again is a fantastic keeper. It's going to be Zanoni with the ball here, just taking his time. It's always going to be an option in this system. It's what I love. Great ball, great switch again. Now with this system, I want to make it clear, it's not as tiki-taka based, obviously, as like a Pep Guardiola. This is going to be slightly more direct in many aspects of the game, but you can also have that beautiful passing going on, and that is something that makes the game so special because you can sort of switch up when and if you need to. Great overlap and run there, which we can expect to see from the fullbacks. It's going to be Zanoni with the ball going in, cuts it back into Lozano, a great overlap and run into Osimhen. A little bit lucky there. I think it took a slight deflection, but Osimhen does tie it up and make it 1-1. Now, quickly, before we carry on, speaking of Pep Guardiola tactics, if you guys do want an amazing Pep Guardiola tactic, I did make a video on the FM Scout YouTube channel, which is a Pep Guardiola tactic. It's got good feedback so far. People are really enjoying it. So if you do want that as well, be sure to check that out. But let's have a little look here then. So it's going to be Angucia, into Minje, into Ostergaard, into Zanoli, into Elmas, into Lozano. Beautiful play there. Into Osimhen, who recovers it back. And this is the type of play we're seeing. It's absolutely flawless. Great bit of pass and play. Great bit of pass and play. Zanoli, look at how we're just spreading the play from side to side. It's exactly why I like looking at it in this perspective sometimes. I really do. There's going to be Angucia, who hits it sort of on the half turn and makes it 2-1. And, you know, that goal was beautiful. Obviously, it was a little bit scrappy towards the end because the ball got lumped into the box, a little knocked down. But the way that we can switch it from side to side just shows how good we are. It really is. And we're going to see a little bit of pressing coming in here onto Mancini, who does play it into Selic. Obviously, Roma, I have got a saver with myself, so it's not nice seeing us, you know, concede like this. But Raspadori wins it back. Unfortunately, a bit of a heavy touch there. Great bit of skill there from the left back. I think there's a bit of a nutmeg. It's going to be a long ball over the top, which Smalling does deal with on this occasion. Mancini with the ball, just driving up the pitch very slowly. Looking quite slow on the ball here, Roma. We are putting quite a bit of a press onto him. And there we go. The press does work. It's going to be Angucia with the ball into a seam hem. And he just chips it over. I don't know why he decided to chip the ball there, but, you know, I can't question a striker that's scored over 30 goals this season, I suppose. Raspadori with the ball into the box, into a seam hem. They clear it quite well. Back into a seam hem, taking his time. Tammy Abraham actually tracking back. Something I'm pretty sure Mourinho would love to see. So that is good to see. He loves his strikers to be real team players, which, you know, I'm with him on that one. Zanoli into Elmas. Again, we're seeing this build-up play into a seam hem, taking his time. A more direct ball, a beautiful run from Angucia to make it 3. And he does a delightful chip this time. And Angucia is the man that makes it 3-1. So again, we're seeing that short build-up play, but when there is a run in behind, we will find it. And that is the beautiful thing about systems like this, because you get best of both worlds. What a save. You get to see short passing, football that looks lovely. When there is an important run being made in behind, you are going to go long and you will get goals from it. Simple as that. Politano with a ball in. It's beautiful defender from Cristante. It's going to be Soric hitting the ball back out. It's going to be Zenit. Nothing there. And we are going to be approaching to what is going to be the last goal by the looks of it. I see him with the ball. A fantastic player. A player I really want United to sign, but I think it's a bit unrealistic, to be honest. Zanoli with the ball here, just taking his time. This is the new little animation, which is weird. When he just stopped the ball dead in the track. All over the top. Mancini does sweep that up quite nicely. Are we going to put a little bit of a press on? We are. Forces him into a bit of a long ball, which goes absolutely nowhere. It's going to be Zerbin. He's taking his time into a seam hem. Back into Zerbin. Oh, it's a great bit of defender from Chris Smalling. Great bit of presso from a seam hem. It's going to be Dem. Into Zanoli. A poor ball there from the right back. Expect better, to be fair to him. He's got to take his time. They are going long, Roma, so it is quite easy to deal with long balls with this tactic, I will be honest. Obviously, that is also relevant on the defence you do have, but we did not really struggle, and he's lost it, and it's going to be 4. It's absolutely shocking from them. Politano with such a good press and a wonder ball into the box, and that is going to be goal number 4. And this game we did deserve to win at the end of the day, guys. I mean, look, the stats: 15 shots, 9 on target, 1.77 xg. 64% possession. Roma done what they usually do, which is what it seems I was doing on my online save of getting an early goal and trying to hold on to it. Unfortunately, it works very little compared to the times it actually does work. That is going to be a little bit of in-game footage. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. But let's break down the tactic. So we are going to break down the tactic right now for you guys. Before we do, though, please be sure to hit the like button below and do subscribe to the channel. I love making these tactics for you guys, and it really does mean a lot when I see you guys interact with the content. So be sure to show some love below, but let's break down this tactic. So this is going to be the Spalletti 4-3-3. Now, as I said, what I love about this system is the fact of how attacking it is going forward. You get sort of all sorts. There's different roles. The striker links up well. The Metzala plays such a crucial role as well. The wingbacks push up. It is honestly a masterpiece. It really is. And we're going to start things off by going over this side of things. We're going to start off with the mentality. Now, this is something which you guys can change as you go in game to game. Obviously, if you're playing a stronger side, possibly change to balanced. But in my opinion, Spalletti does play games quite attacking. So I went with positive. Attacking I felt was a little bit overkill. So positive for me. In possession, you want fairly wide on the width, shorter passing, and a slightly higher tempo with the work the ball into the box. Again, on this screen, I am going to say it very clear. This is something I would advise to take off if you're a goal behind. There's sort of like 10 minutes left or something. Take it off and possibly even have shoot on sight because you are going to be looking for pretty much creating the perfect goal with this. So it is good to start with because you know the chances you get typically are going to be really good ones. But if you are in desperate need for a goal, just on this screen alone, I'd consider taking this off and being more expressive and possibly even running the defence. And this one here is going to be the mixed crosses. In transition, you want counter press, counter, distribute quickly, because this is a bit of a counter attack inside as well, to be honest with you. Distribute to the fullbacks and centre backs and short goal kicks. Again, this is how he does it. Match engine might go against you with this because goalkeepers are incredibly dodgy. So this again is something feel free to tweak. If you're making mistakes with your goalkeeper or your goalkeeper's making mistakes, feel free just to go along with it. Get it out of the way. But this is how he would line up. Going out of possession. You want a standard defensive line, a high press line of engagement, because that is where we saw these players win the ball so far up the field, as Politano did, and it causes all types of issues. Much more often on the trigger press and prevent shot goalkeeper distribution. Now, going over to the player roles. Now, there is a nice mixture here, so we are going to talk about it a little bit in depth. I'm going to start off with a sweeper keeper on the support duty. And this is, again, very, very basic, shorter passing. That is all you need. Going over to what is going to be the wing back on the left-hand side, it's going to be on a support duty, and he is going to be told to be balanced, get further forward, run wide with the ball, and shorter passing. Now, I like having him run wide with the ball, just because with this system, it seemed to work really well having a couple of players out wide, so the fullback and the winger. And then, obviously, the midfield slightly do drift over to link up the play, and it really does work well. So that's why I'd go with that. For me, that is the best option. Going over to the left centre-back, he's going to be a central defender on the defend duty. He's going to be on balanced, shorter passing, and that is going to be it. Nice and basic for you guys. Nothing special about that one. Going over to the right-handed side of the centre-back, it's going to be a central defender on defend, and it's going to be exactly the same. There's nothing special about the central defenders. The only thing possibly you could switch, but again, I don't think it really suits it, that you could possibly have a stopper. So one centre-back playing slightly higher up than the other. That is up to you, but for me, this is how it looks like it lines up. On the right-back position, we've got a wing-back on the support duty. Again, exactly the same. Balanced, get further forward, run wide, and shorter passing selected. Going over to the three in midfield. Now, this is the heart of the team. This is where all of the real hard work happens. You want a deep line playmaker on the defend duty. This player is so crucial because he'll pluck balls over the top, he'll ping the ball out wide, he'll pick the ball up from the back four, or the two centre-backs mainly, and he is such an important role. So make sure you've got someone comfortable that can play this role, please. But with this player, you want less often, mark tighter, tackle harder, and shorter passing. Now, tackle harder can arouse and can pick up the odd few bookings. So again, feel free to turn that off. But for me, it worked really, really well. But there are little things you do have to tweak when you download tactics, and stuff like that is purely down to the individual. Going over to the right-hand side, I love a box-to-box in this game. I really do. A support duty box-to-box, and this is where it does get attacking. It does get attacking. I'm going to be honest. It is going to be less often, mark tighter, tackle harder again, get further forward, stay wider, shorter passing, dribble more, shoot less often, and take more risks. Now, the reason why I have got this guy get further forward as well is because I genuinely believe, for example, say these two are forward, so the Metzala is typically going to be quite forward as well, then we're still going to have quite a few people at the back. We're going to have a deep line playmaker, we're going to have the centre-backs here, the full-backs might not even be pushed up that much as well. So realistically, there is enough to defend if this does go wrong and we lose the ball high up the pitch. Obviously, it is a risk, so this is again is something you could change. You could even go, if you wanted to, you could possibly go with a ball-winning midfielder if you really wanted to play a bit more defensively. But for me, having him on get further forward, and the reason why, again, he's on stay wider is purely because he does link up with this beautiful three here. This triangle here really does help. And having these triangles, what is going to be on either side of the pitch, makes it so you can pretty much pass around anyone that tries and engages a press, and you can move out with the ball very comfortably. Going over to the Metzala on the attack duty. Now this one again, less often, mark tighter, tackle harder, stay wider, get further forward, shorter passing, dribble more, and shoot less often. And this is really, really effective in my opinion. And by the way, on this one, the Metzala, I've got to shoot less often. If you've got a Metzala who is absolutely outrageous at finishing, possibly don't have it on. Let him have the occasional shot, But for me, I wanted this player mainly to focus on creating chances for this front three and just linking up the play, to be honest with you. Going over to the left-hand side is going to be the inverted winger on the attack duty. Less often, get further forward, cut inside with the ball, and shorter passing. Cut inside with the ball, obviously, we've got a very, very good left-handed sided winger at Napoli who can cut in and can cause all types of mayhem. Going over to the right-hand side is going to be a default winger on the attack duty. It's going to be less often, mark tighter, get further forward, stay wider, run wide with the ball, and shorter passing. I like having a nice mixture because, again, it provides something different. You've got one winger that does cut in and try and go by himself, and then you've got one winger who is going to stay wide, possibly look to get a ball into the box, or, you know, just cause issues out wide, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And the last position is going to be an advanced forward on the attack duty, and this is going to be less often, shorter passing, my go-to, shoot more often, and dribble more. And that is going to be the tactic broken down, guys. So like I said, it's a very good tactic. It provided me with some absolutely outrageous results, and I feel like this tactic could be used as well with a slightly lesser team. Obviously with this, we have tested with quite strong teams, Napoli, Zenit, Liverpool. But for me, if you are playing with a slightly weaker team, possibly look to knock the attacking side down a little bit, possibly change his box to boxes to be a little bit more resilient so he doesn't, you know, literally bomb up the field all the time. And that's pretty much it. I feel like you can make this work with a lower division side as well. So for me, this is a very well-rounded, all-around tactic. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot if you guys would hit the like button. Be sure to comment on what manager you want to see next, and please do subscribe to the channel. But that is going to be it for me today, guys, and I will see you in the next one.